Well, good morning. How is anybody and everybody? It's Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thanks so much for dropping by. Hey, been a long week, actually. A lot done, though. Got a lot done. Oh, my gosh. Philly in the Philippines graced us with his presence. How's things going down there in Surigao? I saw your video this morning on the romantic villas inn. That was a really nice looking place. I think we might look into that. That might be nice, I think. MK Mobile Gaming in the Philippines. How you doing, MK? Thanks for dropping in. We certainly appreciate it. The Ugly Tourist. Oh my God. I watched your replay of your live stream this morning. So that's always cute. It's nice to see you. My shirt's a little crooked, huh? Nice to see you. I'm glad you could make it. That's for sure. Slick Rick made it here. Good morning from San Francisco. How you doing, Rick? How's things going in San Francisco? It's always nice. I think we're going to go back to our original schedule. And our original schedule was Mondays at 9 a.m. Philippines time for our live streams. So, good morning, Brian. Christopher Miller, good morning from Pasig. Oh, how's things going in Pasig? That's always nice. Pasig is actually a really, can be a really nice, convenient area. Totally new, came here to learn. Well, there's not much we could learn. We should meet for lunch or coffee sometime. Get to know each other. It's always nice. I like meeting the bloggers here. I like meeting anybody here. I'm one of those kinds of people to meet folks here in Angeles. So, for sure. Yes, indeed. It was a great first live stream. It was really good. And those of you that don't follow The Ugly Tourist, they really should. He's funny. He's entertaining. His partner's funny and entertaining. It's really nice. Bruce Cinder, how you doing, Bruce? How's things going? Thanks for breaking in. What's the topic, MK? You know what, MK? You tell us. You tell us what the topic is. That's part of the whole idea behind the live stream. Rather than try and present information that might be limited, I'd rather talk about what you guys want to talk about. And we leave it on the table. We really and truly do. We want to be a little respectful. We don't go into other people's wives, partners, children, things like that. But being critical and realistic about things that are happening here, abroad, and people here and abroad is always welcome. So Christopher said, yeah, it's wonderful. Can't complain. Yeah, he's talking about Pasig. It's great. From Porac. You know what? I had a meeting yesterday with a couple of expats talking about something. And one of the guys actually lives in Porac. He has a home and family in Porac. And we met over at the pool at Grosvenor, and we ran down to Tequila Reef. They had a margarita. I had a bottle of water, and, I've known Mike for years. Great guy. He's not a YouTuber. He's he had a medical company in New Zealand and Australia, medical clinics, and he was the CEO of that company, and a really nice guy. Met with him yesterday. Good morning from a Joe named Mike. How you doing? It's good to see you in here, Mike. Thanks so much. Thank you so much, Philly. Yes, indeed. We can meet for lunch, Ope. Okay. Anytime. You know what? If you need, in the About section of our videos is our contact information. I mean, I'll tell you now, our contact information is ourphilippinejourney@gmail. Shoot us an email, give me some contact information, and we will certainly, or depending on Arlene's availability, I will certainly meet for lunch. It's whatever we really would. What it's all about. Have you stayed in contact with Rob? I was watching another blogger, and he has started calling his Mike's Coffee Shop. It reminded me of the original Rob's Coffee Shop. You know what? I have spoken to Rob, but it's been several months, probably 4 or 5 months since the last time I talked to Rob. I should give him a call, and now that you remind me, I will write it down and give Rob a call, see I can check on him and see how he's doing. I miss Rob. Rob was, I just really liked his very straightforward, to the point piece of view. Stephen, greetings from Guam. Guam is a great place to retire. White sand beaches, great hub to travel with this region, and 3 hospitals, and yes, a lot of kababayan. You know what? Guam is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And it would be a destination we would certainly consider, or I would certainly consider, but it would really be a bit far for Arlene. Her family is here. She's involved with her family. She has little nieces that she's just desperately attached to. And I don't mind being in the Philippines at all. In fact, I like it. I like the Philippines. Slick Ricardo, Pablo, how are you doing, Pablo? Thank you so much for dropping by. Pablo's been with us for a long time. AC Moto, good morning. Good morning, AC Moto. Now, is that Angeles City Moto? Do you know CJ and Philo? They're real big into that. I don't know them. I'm not big into it. Cafe style racing is not something I've known about. I know anything about. Que pasa? It is interesting though in your thumbnail. How do do you imagine the kind of nerves of steel you've got to have to be scraping the ground at 80, 90 miles an hour in a curve? Yeah, that takes that takes some guts. I'm on the bus for Manila today, cutting in and out. Sorry. Oh, well, I hope you have a good time in Manila. Are you on the regular bus? Are you on the Genesis bus? How's that trip going? And you know what? They're having the jeepney strike start today down in Manila. That I hope it was. I hope it's not going to interfere with your plans, because the city has said they're putting buses out on the road free of charge to transport people during this 3-day jeepney strike. This is like the 4th or 5th time they've done this. So Rob was good. Yeah, Rob was great. He really and truly was. Horrors. Here's the topic. When I have to go to BI, Bureau of Immigration in Cebu City, I've been amazed at the number of Russian draft dodgers trying to get 13A visas. They freely admit to running. Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. There's a large contingency of people, Russians, that do not agree with all of the pain and suffering that comes with a war. So, and that's not just, the physical pain and suffering, but it's also the idea that they'd have their own economic pain and suffering. The sanctions have done a lot to hurt the average person in Russia. I don't know. Good morning, Ricky Last. How you doing, Ricky? It's good to see you. Running away from their country. Indeed, they are. Indeed, they are. You would think they would feel a responsibility, that they believe in their political process enough that they're doing the right thing. You would think that. You would think that, with the history of annexation, of separatism and everything else. I mean, Ukraine was part of the USSR. So I can see it. A lot of strong views politically, a lot of strong views. The Ugly Tourist, have fun in Manila. Yeah, My Views. How you doing, My Views? Thanks for dropping in. Well, so the Ugly Tourist says he's on Genesis. Yeah, that's the way to do it. It really and truly is. Slick Ricardo, things are cool. Pablo getting back. Tim, whoops. There we go. Tim, good morning. How you doing, Tim Isaac? It's good to see you. Hope things are going well. Thank you so much for dropping in. AC Mode, just a brand new Sunset Travel going touring, sick of the usual Philippines contact, going back to something I like, and I've met Sunset Travel. I've met AC Moto, and introduced him to Philo last week. And I think that's really kind of important. I think, content creators, there's probably a couple of different ways to categorize them, but one of the ways is certainly we don't care about putting out content that doesn't appeal to us. We don't want to just be part of that crab mentality that crawls up today's current event. We want to do something that interests us. And that's what Sunset Travel is talking about. He tours, he goes riding around, he loves it. It's a good deal. Slick Rick, no one is bothering me. I can't complain. Yeah, indeed. It's hard to beat that. That big thumbs up from Pablo. Hey, look, if you're not a subscriber, if you're just a viewer, I've changed things just a little bit. Supposedly, under the new settings that I have here, you can't comment unless you're a subscriber. So if you want to comment and you want to participate, become a subscriber. You can always unsubscribe, right? I mean, what harm does it do? Mike will be back in Angeles on the 8th of April. See you at Tequila Reef. All right. Yeah, we'll be here in April. We're going to be here all the way until June. And in June, my daughter is visiting. I fly my daughter out here every summer during her summer break. And when I do that, we travel. And we do have, actually, I think I'm going to wear my daughter's ass out on this trip. I really and truly do. She's going to fly in one day, And the next day, she gets in like about noon here to Clark, which is going to be so easy. She should immediately crash because at 6 o'clock the next day, she's going to be on another international flight. We're taking her to another country for her vacation this year. Then we get back from that. And 2 days later, I think it is, she has to hop back on another international flight to get back to the U.S. So, good morning, Mike and everyone from James Gilbert. Good morning, James. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for dropping in. Tim, Americans running away from USA and there is no war. I don't know that that's, okay. If we take the celebrity stars like Rosie O'Donnell and a couple of others, all right, that have said, I'm moving. And then we take away these celebrities and politically active people that have actually had residences in other countries for years and years and years, okay, through multiple administrations. So we take them out. I don't know that Americans are really running away. I don't think that that's an accurate statement. I think that they're leaving some, but I think that's always happened, hasn't it? I don't know. Your thoughts on that? As a 20-year retired veteran, I don't have any sympathy for anyone running from military service. And Tim, I can understand that. Mike, where is Janet? I don't know Janet. Now, Janet is Mike Philippines Retirement's partner. Arlene is, it's hard to get Arlene in front of the camera. And I think it will probably be even harder to get her in front of a live. It's one step at a time. We'll see. The more positive encouragement she gets, we'll figure it out. Our Philippine journey turned on subscribers only mode, only channel subscribers of 1 minute or longer. Exactly. You got to be a subscriber to post a comment. I don't think that's asking for much. Not a member, a subscriber. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. Okay. Hector. Good morning, Hector. How you doing? Smith. Does anybody have thoughts on Batangas? Wife is looking at land there. No one talks about that area. You know what? It's a beautiful area from what limited stuff I've seen, but I don't know anything about it. Maybe folks here in the chat would know more about it. Let's see. Let me copy this. All right. And I am going to paste that. So let me see if that came up. Okay, so the link to Cam Up is in the chat. And let's see here. Delete, put, ban. No, that's not what I want to do. And if I go to star, can I pin this? I don't know if I could, if that pinned it starred. And see, I still can't find a way to pin something to the top of the chat. I don't know how to do that yet. I'll have to work on it more. Arlene made such a positive impression a couple days ago. You need to convince her to join you on our lives. I would love for Arlene to join us on our lives, but I do respect the fact that she is a bit shy, a bit private. When she talks, she is very honest about what she says. And because of that, she maybe fears a little bit of, let me just check my phone, make sure she's not sending me messages here from the other room. She's just one of those kinds of people, but we'll see. Okay, I hit the nail on. I like all my videos. I just show Philippines and my time with Ding. It's fun meeting all you guys. Yeah. You know what? And you and Ding are funny and entertaining and everything else. So why not? Batangas is a nice sized city. If you're into diving, it's also a great place to dive. Yeah. Brian may have much more experience, may have a lot of experience. Is Batangas, is that where that dives, one of the dive spots? I can't make it. Mike, it sounds like your daughter is going to need a vacation from her vacation. Yeah, I'm going to send her back to her boyfriend exhausted. Good. Ha! Ha, ha, ha. We won't even go into that. Although I have to give her credit, but her school schedule is difficult. All right. Her school schedule is very intense. She goes to a veterinary college that is a 5-year program and ends up with a PhD, DMD, whatever. It is a pretty intense regimen, but she's getting there little by little. Thanks, Philly. And as I said, the link to Cam Up is sitting out there if anybody wants to. Pablo, yeah, I mixed Starlyn up with Janet. There you go. Well, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've met Janet and Mike. They came to Angeles City. That's Mike's Philippine retirement. And she was a very nice, sweet, entertaining young lady. I live in Cubayo Laguna, not far Batangas. It's a good area, Lipa. There you go. See, that's what you like about our community. Our community is well-versed and diverse with respect to the Philippines. We have a lot of people here in the Philippines that are part of our subscribers and our community, and we appreciate them so much. We really do. Tell Arlene she's cool. Trust me, I'm 99% sure she's in the chat or watching, so to speak. That's for sure. Slick Ricardo, I'm thinking Mike's daughter is at UC Davis. We're not going to say where she goes to school. That's all I'm going to say. She has a private life. School is difficult enough as it is. And, that's just great for her. You guys can keep guessing all you want. And I'm neither going to confirm nor deny. That's all I'm going to say. So, she is pursuing a dream that she has had since she was maybe 7, 8, 9 years old and understood what a vet was. She's always wanted to be a vet. Her entire curriculum through high school, through undergraduate school, was all veterinary science based as much as possible. She got her undergraduate degree in veterinary animal health sciences and animal genetics. So, or Sacramento State. Could be. You never know. I wish I could cam up a back and egg. Thanks, OBJ. Learned a lot. See you, AC Moto and Philly. OBJ, you have a great live stream. Thank you so much, Ugly Tourist. You guys have a great time in Manila. I hope you've got Ding with you, and you guys are going down there to have some fun. Thanks, James. Not sure why she is so set in this area. We don't dive in the property she's looking at. It is a fast growing area and near an even faster growing area. That might be one thing. And it supposedly is a beautiful area. Yeah, UC Davis is a great vet school. It is. It absolutely is. And any parent would be proud of their child if they went to UC Davis, or if they went to Colorado, or if they went to anyone. I mean, people don't recognize this, but I think the last I looked at it, there's only 17, I think, veterinary schools in the continental United States. The acceptance rate for first-year applicants to veterinary school in the U.S. is 1/5 of medical school. So she would have had a 5 times easier process to get into medical school, or a 5 times better chance to get into medical school than she would have to get into veterinary school. So we're very, very proud of her. I'm super proud of my daughter. I really am. She's always been a great young lady, always been a good girl, always been a child that a parent would be proud to have. Ugly Tourist, be safe, guys. I've heard that Batangas has a really nice beach area that's somewhat newer. I don't know. Again, Philly, James, a couple of the others that are more familiar with those areas, they for sure would have more information on that than we would, unfortunately. There's only so much. Our channel, we pride ourselves on not being afraid to say we don't know, and not voicing an opinion on something we're completely unfamiliar with. We try to present information that we're either familiar with, have experience with, or know about, either slightly or intimately. So it's hard. We don't have a problem saying we don't know. We really and truly don't. So, 60 in the room, 27 minutes in. Wow. For our little channel, that's kind of impressive for me. Thank you so much. We have such great subscribers and viewers. We really do. So I'll post this link again now that I caught up with the comments. And there we go. So if you're interested, just click on the link and come on in. And we'll chit chat about whatever it is you want to talk about, get reactions from the community chat, everything that goes along with that. So, comments, turn that. So I'm still messing with StreamYard. There are little ins and outs to it that I do not understand yet, but we're getting to it. That's for sure. We are absolutely getting there. There we go. All right. So, Slick, I hope the property is almost on the beach and gated. I trust her. She's smarter than I am. Isn't that unique? Filipino women, there's a subject I think we could cover, or at least discuss, is the number of people that don't think that Filipino women are smart. Some of them are way smarter than you think. Some of them are smart. All right. Why anybody thinks Filipino women aren't smart in general, I think they're wrong. I think there are a lot of very smart women. And not only that, they are educated, Filipinas, and there are smart Filipinas, and there are good Filipinas, and I don't know. It's an interesting way to think. Batangas port is very nice. You're about an hour drive to the Manila airport. Okay, so Batangas, Philly, is that where you catch the ferry to go to where it was you and Lot went diving? And where was that? I forget the name of it, if I'm not mistaken. And those of you that want to, Brian's been in the Philippines for a long time, and he's been doing videos for a long time. There's a wealth of information in his videos that you guys may want to take an opportunity to scan through and become a member and view his videos. There's just a lot there. Barry in the PI. Good morning, Barry. How are you? I'm in the now. Woke up early today. There you go. Well, thank you, Barry, for dropping in. We really appreciate it. Oh, I missed that. Besides my wife, I will have to say that Arlene is the second smartest Filipino I know. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. Lot's pretty smart chick, too. She's very smart and has great taste, but she's older, 52, myself, 58. So, I don't think that age is that important, Smith. I really don't. Smith, I trust you'll keep us updated on Batangas. Yeah, indeed. Paul, good to see you. Hi, Mike. Tell you enjoy live, but how the hell can we know when you're on? Sure, it's easy, but hey, work with me, Chief. You should be getting, if you're subscribed to the channel, Paul, you should be getting a notice. Secondarily to that, we are going to do Mondays at 9 a.m. Philippines, 9 p.m. Sunday nights, live streams until Monday Night Football starts. Again, restarts. So, that's where we plan to be at with things. And that's what we're going to try and continue to do. Mike, I'm not going to cam up, but do you remember I did cam up a few months ago? That was like a challenge. Yeah, Pablo, I do. And I don't know that, you know what? It's all good with us. That's all I'm going to say. It's all good with us. Pablo's been with us for a long time. Hello from Cebu. Hey, Jerry. Nice to meet you. Nice that you're dropping by. Thanks so much. Slick, I will. 1 year ago, we're looking for people to go in with a 40-foot container. Oh, so you're going to ship an entire container. That'll be interesting. You'll have to keep us up to date on that. Let us know what that was like getting through customs and what it ended up costing. I'd love to hear that information, Smith. Really and truly, I would. Smith, do your homework. Batangas does have some areas prone to landslides. Okay, there you go, Smith. A little bit of advice. Puerto Galera is only a short, that's what I was thinking about, Puerto Galera, where Lot did her open water. I think you did your open water there also, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's a beautiful area. Paul Rogers, clip subscribe a second time and set your notifications to all. There you go. My Views has a great suggestion. I didn't know that you could do that, but yeah, so under your subscribe where it shows that you're subscribed, click that twice, and My Views says that you should be getting a notification that allows you to click all. All right. In addition, I'm going to get off my lazy ass and I'll start posting my lives, a thumbnail, a community post in the community tab so that It'll go out to the entire community, and then we won't have to rely too much or as much on YouTube sending out notifications in advance. And I'm going to be, since I'm going to be scheduling it, and now I know I'm going to be scheduling it, we'll get the live stream scheduled with YouTube maybe a day or full day or two in advance, and that gives YouTube time to push it out. So we'll try that. Now, I will tell you, in June we will be gone, and I am not going. I want to spend as much time with my wife and my daughter in this other country that we're taking my daughter to. And so I won't be doing nearly as many videos in that, I don't know, it's 11 or 14 days, 12 days, 13 days, something like that, in June. So it's not like we're going to disappear. We're just not going to be around quite as much. The wife found a price for $12,500 for a 40-foot. Wow. So $12,500, and you stuff it for as much weight as you want, and that includes shipping, or is that just for the container itself, and you're going to keep the container? I don't know. You'll have to kind of tell us how that works, or at least fill us in. So please, if I haven't asked you, please do subscribe. Well, in order for you to comment in our live stream, you must be a subscriber for at least 1 minute. So subscribe, and then if you don't like it, just unsubscribe later. It just works. Make your comments, participate, and if you don't want to clutter your YouTube up with subscriptions, then unsubscribe. We're not doing it to try and gain subscribers as much as we are trying to make sure that we get we try and maintain a good group of subscribers and viewers. It's a respectful group. There's a lot of good people. Opinions, whether we like your opinion or not, doesn't matter. As long as you're not trolling somebody, your opinion counts. Your thoughts count. I mean, there were a lot of people that reacted to our last video saying they didn't feel the Philippines was that great a deal, that other countries were better. And we respect their opinion. And we left those comments up. Simple as that. And we'll continue to leave those comments up. There's nothing, what is it that actually makes a channel worthwhile? If they're putting out groundbreaking information, well, okay. But if they're putting out information like we put out, information that's meant to engage you, and meant to get you to think about something, or to question something. That's what we want to do. We want you to examine what's out there and then tell us, hey, no, I don't believe in that bullshit. All right. Or, hey, Mike, thanks so much. Or, hey, Arlen, thank you much. Smith, when you first said 40-foot container, I thought you meant looking for someone to drink 40 ounces. There you go. What was it that used to come in 40? Old English and something else used to come in 40s when I was in college. So, I don't know. I'm sure there were others. No container ownership nor insurance, but yes, shipping. 20 foot was $12,000, 40 foot only $500 more. Okay, great. The import tax can be a killer. Yeah, it can be, but keep in mind, if you're balikbayan, there is I want to say you know what? I can't remember how much it is, but there's an exception. It's not huge by any way, shape, or mean. You're going to way overstuff that exception, but there is an exception. But if you're splitting it like Smith says, then each one of the people in there have their own part of that import. So I don't know. Grumpy Brit in the Philippines. Well, good morning, John. How are you? I expected you to be out on one of your walks by now. I hope you're doing well. I caught your live stream for a little bit this morning before I had to catch up on some other stuff. And here's another perfect example. Now, John, who is the channel owner of Grumpy Brit in the Philippines, he and I don't always agree. In fact, often we disagree. But he's entitled to his opinion. He's entitled to speak how he feels, as long as it's not trolling excessively or going after people's families or going after their children or anything like that. Now, but John does have me in a bit of a little. I'm heartbroken, John. I'm heartbroken. Okay? I can make a comment in Grumpy Brit and you respond to it, but I'm banned on a British expat in the Philippines. John has two channels. One, he may not control himself. It may be under his ex-partner's control, but I'm banned in that channel. I think it was last night you had a live. I tried to comment. My comment sat there. I did it 3 times. You never acknowledged it. I can only assume I'm banned. So it is. Cobra malt liquor. Yeah, there was another one you could get in 40 ounces. Smith says, I need my tools. We met a guy, in Cebu that did that. And he shipped his entire metal and wood shop, metal fabrication and wood shop tools, along with assorted gardening stuff and everything else, to the Philippines. And he did not regret it at all. Look at Philly. Philly's a true alcoholic. There you go. He remembers that Colt 45 too. I'm just kidding. Schlitz malt liquor. Yeah, there's another one. I didn't even know that all of these came in 40s. I really and truly don't. Pablo says, I think Heidi from Philippines Antics is smart, but not as smart as Arlen. Well, Heidi was raised in America, spent 40 some odd plus years in America. All right. So she's not going to, Arlen, only had 3 years in the U.S. And so she's not going to know nearly as much as Heidi does about that. Both of them are two totally different people. I can't compare Heidi and Arlen because they are radically different. Heidi is very outspoken, and I'm not saying this in a negative fashion. She's outspoken. She doesn't have a problem being critical. She has her agenda. Arlen is different. She's not that way, and I'm grateful. Although Arlen made it clear, if I cheat on her, she wants half. Half. That's the way she said it. Colt 45 came in 40-ounce bottles. Comfort for the unsophisticated giver of massive hangovers. I don't think I ever even tasted Colt 45. I don't even know. I really don't. I'm not, even now, I'm not a beer drinker. When it comes to beer, I used to, we used to go to Mexico quite a bit, had a place in, I have an FM3 in Mexico. Pacifico which is actually bottled in the U.S. now. All right, but Pacifico with a slice of lime on a 90 plus degree day at the beach, that's yummy, yummy stuff. But very hard to come by here. Otherwise, I don't drink beer. I really, that's not true. I like Stella. All right. We keep Stella. Sometimes, most of the time, we have a couple bottles of it here in the house. It'll last 6 months. Once in a while, I like a nice cold Stella. Let's see here. Mike, wow, didn't realize Mike on British Expat. Didn't realize that, Mike. Yeah, British Expat has me banned, but that's okay, John. You know, there was a time where you know, John and I totally disagreed. And I understand it. It's not a problem. It really and truly isn't. It doesn't bother me. Vlogging Life. Hey, Mike and everyone. Vlogging Life is up there, Black Canyon City, Arizona. One of my favorite home-style restaurants. In fact, Arlene even liked it. They make homemade pies. Vlogging Life said that the pies at this restaurant that we used to go to up there once in a while has really, really gotten outrageously expensive, as I guess everything is in the U.S. Hello, Michael Atos saying hello to Grumpy Brit. I have restoration business and been collecting vintage. Wow. Vintage tools. Cool. Uh-oh. What is this? Arlen said, don't start any drama between her and Heidi. They're two totally different people. And she's right. She and Heidi are two totally different people. You'll never see Arlen out there. She's just shy. Arlen is shy. She's reserved. She's just one of those type of people that when you get to know her, she'll tell you, you know, she has no problem talking whatsoever. But out in the public realm, she just does not like drama. John's a little hard on us, but I watch some anyways. Well, you know, Jerry, John's entitled to his opinion. And I will tell you this much. I will say this about John. Bullshit. And John, I mean no disrespect. John knows what gets clicks, and John puts out what's going to get clicks. And he's in the business of trying to earn money. And you can't blame him for that. If he puts out information that he believes in, what harm is there in that? You know, if you want to be a xenophobe, be a xenophobe. If you want to be, whatever. That's not even a good word to use. If you want to point out the shortfalls of some people and blanket that across others, well, then pick a good example. And since American expats outnumber British and Australian expats combined 8-1 here, all right, he gets plenty of ammunition. So no problem at all. It is what it is. And I understand it. I'm not sure it's nice comparing Arlen to Heidi. You can compare anybody. Arlen is just not that way. That's not who she is. And she never will be. I doubt, very seriously. Maybe Arlen will grow up to be a cantankerous old bitch. I hope not. I don't think so. And I'll be dead long before she gets there. So I'll never have to deal with it. I love Detroit River Water, Stroh's beer. You know what? Stroh's was a big beer when I was in high school here in the States. I don't think I ever had it though. Pacifico is an excellent beer. I love Pacifico. I really do. It is, I'm telling you. So I taught my daughter learned to drive. I used to keep a couple of, 2 4x4 ATV, Polaris Rangers in Mexico, at our condo in Mexico. And I used to keep 2 of them down there. And my daughter started driving those when she was so young. We used to actually zip tie a 2x4 to the brake so that she could reach the pedal well enough. She grew up learning how to drive a 4-wheel vehicle in the sand dunes in Mexico. And I'm telling you, you spend a couple hours running around at 90, 95, 98 degrees heat down in the sand dunes, even though they're right next to the beach. It's hot as heck. All right. A cold Pacifico with a twist of lime. Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. San Miguel Light is the beer I love to drink in the Philippines. I've had it. I'm not really impressed with it, Slick, but, I'm not like I said, I'm not a beer drinker at all. Christopher, I'm late. What's the topic? You know what? There is no topic. It's just general conversation, Leroy. But if you want to bring up a topic, if there's a topic you want to talk about, let's do it. Tell us what it is. Let's do it. Ruby, good morning, good day. How you doing, Ruby? One of my favorite Filipina Australians. Ruby's a really smart young lady. She, if I'm not mistaken, has a degree in engineer, some form of engineering. Married to a really nice Australian guy. They had made a wonderful life for themselves in Australia, and they're working on their retirement life here in Angeles City. Very nice young lady. Michael Atos, looking at modern home design video tonight for a house build. You make sure that modern house design includes Philippine construction. You got to stay on top of that. You really do, Michael. Be very cautious. That is not something you can have the architect draw up, find a foreman, have that foreman schedule it all and have his crew complete and count on it being done correctly all the time. They will cut corners. They just hire worker bees sometimes, and, getting that sand to cement to gravel mix, getting the right rebar, tying the rebar together. I mean, those are the most critical pieces. Is going to be your foundation, your support structure, your septic, and plumbing. Those are the things that you just got to make sure are 100% correct from the get-go. Electrical can be fixed, but it's always better to get that right the first time. Jerry, yeah, I agree. We get too much attention. There's some bad apples. We just outnumber the white ones. We do. I mean, and it happens, and it is life. And so you just roll with the flow. Until I am a party to that, then I don't worry about it. We just avoid the drama as much as possible. Michael, check out Texas Filipino. Yeah, there's another channel that's got a lot of construction stuff. It's my life. I heard they are renaming Colt 45 to Trump 45. Oh my God. I have no idea. what what kind of presidency is this going to be? Oh, I don't know if John is still in the channel. John, I meant to say this last night. Did you know that the King of the King of England, when he was not the king, he was, when the Queen was still alive, all right, extended the thought of offering Commonwealth admission to the U.S. to Trump. And Trump just yesterday said he would entertain the idea of being part of the Commonwealth. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know that there's any advantages or disadvantages to it, but wouldn't that be funny? It certainly would. Barry Graham, do you think the Philippines will restrict immigration now that America can and Australia are changing the rules? I don't think that America's changed the immigration rules that much. All right, Barry? Are they going to enforce the rules that have always existed? Maybe that's a part of it. But change the rules? I don't know. Are they going to enforce it? I saw a interview with somebody, I can't remember who she was, one of the officials, and she said, look, when you apply for a visa, all right, then you put down that I'm going to be I'm going to be racist. I'm going to support racist ideas. I'm going to support anti-democratic or anti-democracy. I'm going to support rioting. I'm going to support taking buildings and government buildings and school buildings over. I'm going to be a part of those efforts. If you put that on your visa application or your immigration application, you would certainly get denied. If you're participating in it and you're not a citizen of the United States, you'd get kicked out. If I did that here in the Philippines, if I got involved in the politics in the Philippines, I guarantee you I'd be on the next flight out. Immigration would push me out. So are they going to change the rules? I don't know that they're going to change them. I do know that they're starting to enforce them or have a stricter code of enforcement. I don't know, Barry, what do you think? Do you think they're going to change the actual rules? My way is fun. Hi, Mike. Why is Heidi such a hater and George just chill? Hey, you know something? I wouldn't call anybody that, but if that's your opinion, you're entitled to it. We've never had a problem with Heidi. We had a misunderstanding with Heidi once, and as soon as we straightened that out, and we've been welcome in her channel ever since. We've never had a problem with her. That she has a strong opinion. She presents strongly, and that's the way her channel is. If people don't like it, they don't have to watch it. But obviously, looking at their numbers, people do. Why should she change it? You know, she shouldn't. Why should she change something that's making her money? Michael says, I'm planning on building a small house on site and watch the construction of the house build. This will be a guest house with there you go. Absolutely. We watched 80% of our house built in Mindanao. We have a home. We're in a condo here. We have a condo here. We own a home out in Mindanao as well. And for that home, we were on site for probably 80% of the build. And even then, we made mistakes. Trust me. Michael, make sure you use a reputable licensed civil and structural engineers and never cut on those budgets. Absolutely. Grumpy Bit, Prince Charles. There you go. Yeah, would have been Prince Charles back in those days, during the previous administration to think, or something like that. But yes, so I don't think that they will. I don't see any advantage to being a part of the Commonwealth. You know, America was part of the Commonwealth. America was, not the United States. There were no United States. They were the colonies, and they were started by the British, okay, originally. And with that being said, even though, the Spanish as well, they were considered a Commonwealth until the Revolutionary War. Thanks, Ruby. Michael, add solar, cut back on architect recommendation on windows. There's an idea, I guess. Is there local talk about President Duterte? We don't talk much about politics. We have seen no protests, nothing like that we have seen in Angeles City. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm saying we haven't seen it. I haven't heard about it, but it's quite possible. My wife went through hell to get a K-1 visa. She's pissed that they just walked in and got tons of free money. I don't know who got free money, Michael. You'll have to... you're talking about illegal immigrants. Oh, I'm pissed as hell too. I'm pissed as hell. That's my tax dollars. If we saved all the bullshit money that was out there going out to fraudulent claimers to support illegal immigrants, and they are illegal. I don't give a shit what anybody says. If they're in the United States, they came in the United States without a visa, without going through immigration, and they broke the law, they should not be getting free health care, free dental, free child support, nothing. They should be out. And if they're not out, okay, then they should not be entitled to this free stuff. And I'm greedy. I'm just going to say it. Maybe I'm greedy. But if we had all of that, perhaps the future of Social Security would not look as difficult as it looks. And I'm not a fearmonger about Social Security. I don't think they'll ever screw it over. But with that being said, it only has, a couple of years without getting money to continue at the rate it's going. So I don't know. I do know that it is actually a very efficient. Well, we won't even get into it. I can certainly understand her point of view, Michael. I really can. Trump wants peace, a little piece of Greenland, a little piece of Canada, a little piece of Ukraine, a little piece of Palestine, Mama, number 5, Mexico in the sun. You know what? So, it may have been Mozambique. I can't remember. So there's a South African country that has approached Trump and said, look, for help with our national security, if you will defend our country, we will give you exclusive mineral rights in our country. That's a big deal. Now, does that mean we'd have to put troops on the ground in their country? Because there's another African country beating them up all the time. I'm waiting to see how that evolves. I really and truly am. They have lithium. They have cobalt-60. They have multiple other rare earth materials. Rich, I don't have a problem with Heidi at all. She may be pretty opinionated, but that's why she has a channel. Some people out there obviously like to hear her opinion. If they don't, just change channels. And Richie is correct. He is absolutely correct. Don't like her, don't listen to her. Don't like me, don't listen to me. Don't like John, don't listen to John. It's all the same. Nobody's forcing you to click on that. Now, I am forcing you to leave a comment, to click on subscribe. I have the settings set up that only subscribers can subscribe, can comment. But you can unsubscribe as soon as the live is over or as soon as you leave. Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 52-year-old self? I would tell my 52-year-old self, which would have been quite a while back, exercise more, eat less, and save more. And that your daughter's going to be okay. That's what I would tell my 52-year-old self. Michael, likewise, include your termite treatment prior to building your house or common. They are a huge problem. Termites are a big problem in the Philippines. Ruby is correct. Ruby, I'm paying for my nephew and his girlfriend's university study in civil construction engineering. I'm going to put them to the test. Well, be careful, Michael. All right? Experience and education, not just education. And make sure they understand what's going on. Ruby, you're a wealth of knowledge when it comes. She is. Ruby and her husband just finished having a house built here in Angeles City. Boom. Boom. Doing good. We just finished shooting our last video. Wanted to pop in and see what these guys are talking about. I like this channel. Well, thank you, Richie. We like you. We've watched a couple of your videos. And actually they're kind of interesting. For those of you, I really suggest giving Richie a shot. Take a look at his channel. See how he is. He may have stuff. We tell people this all the time. Look at everybody's channel. Don't exclude people. Include them. And then if the content isn't what flips you, what floats your boat, what trips your trigger, then unsubscribe and go on. But give everybody an opportunity. All right? Not that I feel sorry for people by giving them an opportunity, but give them an opportunity because you may be able to contribute to their community of subscribers and viewers, and they may be able to contribute to your knowledge, to your information. Those are always good things. Good morning, JJ the Lonely Bull. Are you back in the Philippines, JJ, or are you on your way into Thailand? I'll check out Texas Phil. I wrote it down for his watch list. Yeah, Michael, give him a look. James, I don't listen to Annex, don't watch Jenny Jones or Jerry Springer. But that's their channel. That's their content. That's what she's built that channel on in George. And I'm going to tell you, you have to give some credit where credit is due. Whether you agree with the content or disagree, whether you agree with the way the content is delivered or disagree, you have to give credit to the amount of time they put into that. I can tell you that they put way more time into their channel than I do. And it shows. They're far more successful than I am. All right. Or than Arlen is, or that we are. All right. They put much more. I mean, they live scouring news articles and contacting people and this and that and the other. And hey, you know what? Credit where credit's due. Richie's channel is very entertaining, not to mention, yeah, it is. Very entertaining and informative. Michael, my nephew will get hands-on internship on this house build. He can work with a working civil. There you go. And it's all about it. Barry says, I think America will change the immigration laws. The seats in Congress will change, and it will be hard to get the votes. Immigration has always been a game for the politicians. All right. There are people in California. California passed laws where there are jurisdictions and areas in California where an illegal immigrant can sit on the city council, can be a mayor, all right, of a municipality. All right. They did this to get those votes. And it is just what it is. I'm back in BGC while I renew my passport. There you go, JJ. So when do you head back? What's your next destination? Thailand? Or I don't know. I can't remember. Antic weathered the YouTube storm. They're still going, yeah. All right. You have to give credit where credit's due. Heidi came out about her past. She publicly admitted to it. She's paid her dues, if you want to call it that. All right. So be it. Who gives a shit? Who cares? If we took every person in the chat that had a flavorful past, all right, and said, we're kicking you out of YouTube, we'd have a pretty small channel. There are people, there are multiple people on YouTube who have children in prison, have had children in prison, been to prison themselves, okay? Scammed the government, scammed individuals, plenty of them. Some of them are still pieces of shit. Some of them changed their lives. I mean, I'm not a fan of Sunshine Shoulders by any way, shape, or means. I really am not. I believe he's a misogynist. I'm not even going to go into it. But he turned his life around. Even though he gave up on his family, even though he threw his family to the curb when he left, okay, he's trying to make up for it. He turned his life around. He's no longer a crack whore, all right, or whatever it was he was, but he has changed. People can change. And what's the problem with that? James, yeah, I'll give the credit. She works long hours. Yeah, she does. She works far more hours than I do. Is the squeeze worth the juice, though? I don't know. That's something that Arlene and I talk about often. Is the reward from YouTube worth the effort? Is the squeeze worth the juice? From a personal point of view, giving me a hobby, yeah. From the expense compared to what you get for it, not for us. But we're a small channel, and we don't put out 5 videos a week or 8 videos a week on multiple channels. So you can't expect it to be that way. JJ says, I'm going to go back to Bangkok first, then head over to Da Nang again, making the rounds. As long as you're having fun, JJ. Illegal immigration also changes the populations for elected reps for states with larger numbers. Yes, as I said, and you're right, Michael, it has been a political, I'm making my city a sanctuary city and it's great for what you're really doing is you're screwing with these people's lives. You're bringing these people over, allowing them to come over to live in drug-infested places to gain population for elected reps, for electoral college votes, not electoral college votes, but for the census. It's a scam. It's a huge scam. Philippine vloggers I do not like are the ones that block, ban you if you dare to disagree with even Horace, look, we don't agree with everybody, but unless they're just totally disrespectful, we don't block and ban them. It comes very uncommon. I think this week I've banned one person in, all the views that we've gotten this past 2 weeks, even 3 weeks, maybe. Okay. Yesterday was the first time I actually blocked somebody in, I guess, close to a month. And we get some nasty comments once in a while. Now, will I delete a comment? Hell yeah. It's not a democracy. This is a fucking monarchy, and I am the king. But I'm trying to be a benevolent one. It's not a democracy. It's our channel. Yes, I went to the University of San Diego in '89, California. Is a world of its own. Was in the Navy for 12 years in San Diego, living. Yeah, San Diego is a great city. Used to be. Not sure why I didn't like Bangkok. I'll tell you, I don't care for Bangkok because all it is a big city. It doesn't have the beach, and I want to be near the beach. And 2-hour ride to Pattaya, and I don't think the beach in Pattaya is that great, but a 2-hour ride to get there is just not worth the squeeze. And block those negative types from my feed. Yeah, there you go. Michael, get geotest and survey done. Know the limits of your property based on the title. That's true. You know, make sure you're buying residential land and not land that's already categorized as agricultural. Those are important. Get a good lawyer, Michael. Immigration is political football. Yeah, and Republicans and Democrats, it's the same. And it's the same in many different countries. The bigger the channel, the more headaches will come your way and the banned list will grow. It will. I have seen Philly struggle with that. It's obvious it's a struggle for years. It's obvious. You get your haters, you get your assholes, you get your good folks, your good subscribers. But it's like he said in his video this morning, sitting in the pool, sitting in the pool by the beach, that he's had a lot of his subscribers and viewers have stuck with him. And that's what it's all about. That's when you know that you've got a good subscriber base. How do you know? I don't know how other people judge whether they have a good subscriber base or not. I really and truly don't. I know how we judge it. I'm not going to tell you how we do it, because it's going to insult or be insulting or critical of others. They won't agree with it. And I think that how we would judge it would be different if we had a large base, say 30, 40, 50,000. All right. I don't know if the way that I would measure our channel for my own metrics would be the same as how I do now. I don't know. And I probably will never know. I doubt we'll ever get, at the rate I'm going, I'll die before we hit 10,000. Knock on wood. Let me, we'll figure out. Long live the king. Detroit is a large Mexican town, a large Arab population. That part of the city is clean and booming. Yeah. Well, Michael, I'll be honest with you. I've been to Detroit a couple of times. It doesn't make much. It doesn't take much for a part of the city to be comparatively clean and booming, because a shitload of Detroit is a rat hole. My experience. Now, I will say it's been 15 years since I've been, 15, maybe 18 years since I've been to Detroit. Girlfriend speaks better English than 90% of the locals I meet. Still don't understand her. You know what? Arlen speaks better English than 90% of the people I meet. in the province. And I still don't understand Arlen sometimes. What was it she was talking about yesterday? Something. I can't remember. It was funny. I should write this shit down, huh? Just so I have it. Ruby, thanks for the advice. Detroit's booming. Is it on a comeback? Maybe. I don't know. I'm looking at a hectare of land in the province. Nice. That's a good chunk of land. Barry, I live 70 miles from Detroit. Only pockets are booming. Yeah. British expat. Hello, everyone. It's great to see Mike here, too. It's always good to see you, John. I hope that your post-surgical, I know you've been struggling with your post-surgical recovery from your oral surgery. I hope that's going well for you. I did hear on your live that you're going to be going for your fittings for your molds later this week. I wish you the best with that. So I'm going to post the link again. Grumpy Brit. See, I don't have John banned in either one of his channels. I don't have him banned on a British expat. I don't have him banned on Grumpy Brit. But he has me banned. It's breaking my heart. Breaking my heart, John. So he only has me banned in one channel. When a tornado hits around Detroit, it does improvements. It's hard to, like I said, I haven't been to Detroit in a while. I got invited to Detroit about 15 years ago, I want to say, to look at acquiring an imaging center that was up there, to add it to my imaging center chain. And I rented a car, and I was just like, I should have rented a Jeep. The roads were full of potholes. It was a horror story back then. And the neighborhoods were bad. Now, the one thing that was a saving grace, it reminded me of Newark, New Jersey, where you have these little shops, these little, like it's a half of it is like a 7-Eleven almost, a little store, not a 7-Eleven, nothing like that, but basics, and the other half is like they do pizza and hoagies or something like that. They'll have food. And I got some really great hoagies in Detroit. That's just the honest truth. And it was in some of those little neighborhood dive places, somewhere, kind of place where you parked your car where you could see it from inside. Is it just me, but I found my ability to type proper English, I find it broken? No, I don't, it's not me. I'm not that way, but maybe others are. I don't know, Michael. Maybe other folks will chime in. I don't see any advantage for America to be part of the Commonwealth. I don't either, but maybe there is. Maybe the goodwill alone is an advantage. All right? Maybe, as I said, America was once part of the Commonwealth. Okay? And then we went into revolt. We had the Revolutionary War. And ever since then, not. But is there an advantage to it? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't see the Commonwealth doing much as anything other than a title. But I don't watch British politics. I don't watch British news that much. So I don't know what good the Commonwealth does. Oh, it's no big deal, John. I don't care. It used to be anyone living in the Commonwealth could move within the Commonwealth. So Okay, that would be interesting. Now, that's an interesting concept. Philly says, got to take care. Mike, got to run. Have a nice day. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for showing up. Hope you're going to the beach or at least getting something good to eat. Take care. Do you think Detroit's bad St. Louis has it beat? I don't know. I haven't been to St. Louis other than through the airport ever. The only time I've been to St. Louis is through the airport, so I couldn't tell you. Oh. So James says, I agree on East St. Louis, Illinois, for sure. Like I said, haven't ever been other than through the airport to St. Louis. Never. So I can't give you a good update on that. I'm going to post the link again. So if you'd like to cam up, speak your opinion, speak your piece in a respectful, even you don't have to agree with me or with the channel or with the information contained within. You're more than welcome to cam up and disagree. All right? But if you'd like to, click on that link and, feel free. That was the past. You certainly can't by right do that now. 40 years ago, yes, but to go and immigrate to Canada and Australia, it was easier, but still a case of your age and skills. Yeah, again, John would probably know more about this than a lot of people. He certainly knows more about it than I do. I don't know anything about it. I at some point when I'm bored, I'm going to sit down and do a bit of a deeper dive. If I see that any of this hyperbole about being part of the Commonwealth is gaining any traction, I will take a look and try and figure out whether there's any benefits to being in the Commonwealth. So someone from Canada could move to Australia or someone from Ireland could move to New Zealand. I don't know, Barry. I don't know. Perhaps John should do a live stream on that. It's in the news. It's something that's current, John, and it's something you have knowledge about far more than we do. Detroit went from 1.8 million people to 600,000. 2/3 of the population left. Detroit has beavers for the first time in 150 years. Wow. Yeah, when I was there in Detroit, I was there for 4 days. It was an eye-opening experience. Big Dave, top of the morning to you and Arlen. Hey, Dave, what's new? All right, Dave, I'm just going to ask you this straight up and out. How are you doing, number one? Are you still here in the Philippines, number two? And number three, are you going to start using your camera gear? All right? Just a question. I might have some interest in some of it. Otherwise, I hope you're doing well, Dave. I really do. And have you heard from Miyagi? I haven't heard from Miyagi in a long time. So let us know. Back in the day, don't think you can today. Okay, so I guess the immigration laws for being part of the Commonwealth have changed. But certainly, it would be interesting to understand it. There's the link again. If you want to comment, if you want to discuss something, if you agree, if you disagree, feel free. Click on the link and come on board. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. You know, as long as we're respectful, I don't care what the topic is, other than Philippine. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see if I can do that correctly. There we go. John, can you hear us?
Yes, I sure can.
Oh, we hear you. How are you?
Right. Well, I'm not an expert on the Commonwealth, but I know that the Commonwealth was set up, I believe, in the time of Queen Elizabeth. And during that period, a lot of countries had connected through the Commonwealth. They were members of the Commonwealth. A lot of African countries, obviously India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all of these places were part of the Commonwealth, along with Australia and New Zealand. But when I was 18 years of age, Commonwealth was still fairly new in relative terms. But when I went to Australia, I still had to apply to go to Australia as an immigrant. Sure, I was given preferential, I suppose, application point, but certainly, yes.
Hey, John, I want you to keep talking and giving the information. I'm going to turn my camera off for just a minute while I go fill my water up. So please do.
Okay, you can scratch your nose now. Well, yeah. Now, what I will say is that the Commonwealth basically is a trading partnership now, in the sense that they're a big family, and if you combine all of the various countries' population, it makes a very big buying block or trading partnership. But I think that the power of the Commonwealth, as it used to exist, is fading slowly over time. But those that think that because they're maybe living in Canada, that they can automatically then maybe transfer to Australia or New Zealand, I think you need to think again, because the individual policies of the Commonwealth countries is now enrooted in their own immigration status. I mean, Australia keeps immigrants out because of the water between it and the rest of the world. And it's quite harsh on many people who want to come to live or settle in Australia. But they still have their boat arrivals from the northern parts of Australia, and they're very, very strict on it. But as far as other members of the Commonwealth, I think there's a comradeship between each other. I mean, Australia and New Zealand are part of what they call the ANZACs, which is the Australian and New Zealand. And they have a common connection between also South Africa through their rugby and their cricket. They're all fiercely contest each other yearly. But as far as being able to just freely move within the Commonwealth, I don't think that applies. I think if there's any suggestion that America might look at the possibility, even in the slightest way, of joining the Commonwealth, I think there will be a certain resistance from the American people themselves. I don't think, unless it's in the advantage trade-wise to do so, I don't think you really would do it. But the thing is that with the current administration, dare I mention his name, Trump, some people get upset about that. I think what he has a habit of doing, and I think it's a good idea, he throws into the pot occasionally the nice little sweet hand grenades that, oh my God, we're going to take over Alaska. Oh, we're going to have Greenland. We're going to have Puerto Rico or wherever it is. And what it does, of course, is it creates talk, discussion. And that's good for everybody to have, because saying that we're going to impose this on this country or that on another country, the thing is that it makes the other politicians sit up and say, whoa, hang on a minute, maybe we won't do that. And that's good. But as far as the Commonwealth goes, I don't think the Commonwealth is actually looking to have America join it. And I don't think America really is trying to do it. And immigration is a very big issue around the world, bigger than maybe a lot of us sitting here in the Philippines realize that, you know, the idea that you can be a refugee from one country to another, I understand that, the humanitarian aspect of it. But why someone leaves one country and goes through another country speaking the same language and then continues to go until they get to the White Cliffs of Dover to say they've finally reached their destination astounds me. And
I,
I think, dare I suggest it, that if more people were to not get to England in rubber boats, it might discourage people from leaving the shores of Europe. And it might help places like England restore its own immigration status. Because
I,
any country in the world is entitled to invite people within the working age group to assist them in moving forward in the world. Scientists, engineers, architects, people with a skill that that country needs. But just to open the doors and let potato pickers and cherry pickers, which of course lots of countries do, Australia does, and New Zealand invites seasonal workers from the Pacific Islands to come and help them harvest their crops, like in Mexico and the Texas and a lot of the other states bounding Mexico. They have seasonal workers. And in it, I think it is fair that when people come there, that they have a little step up. If they can show, well, they were good citizens in that country and they now want to reapply for maybe permanent residency there, if they leave and they do that the proper way in any country, that's good for the country because it keeps order. But just to
they
open
need
doors,
they need to come into the country legally. They need to
that's right.
follow the rules that it takes to get in the country. And I got into a discussion. I have my best friend, my very best friend, is a die-hard Democrat. Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah, me
Mike.
too. Me
Mike,
too.
you have a best friend?
Well, sorta, but he and I, he's talking about, Mike, you can't throw these people out. We need these immigrants. We need them to uh, pick potatoes and tomatoes and corn and everything else. And my argument with that is no, necessity is the mother lode of invention. If you don't have the people to pick the potatoes, some smart son of a bitch is going to make a great potato picker. All right. Some um, some smart guy is going to make a tomato picker that only picks ripe tomatoes and good corn. I mean, necessity drives invention. Um, so with all of that being said, I don't believe having low paid wages and low paid people is the key. It really isn't. You pay the price until you invent something that does it cheaper. Just like you pay the price for driving a car until they make one that costs less to drive. Better fuel mileage, lasts longer, whatever. You pay that price. So I don't know what the Commonwealth brings. I think Ruby earlier said that Australia is actually looking at pulling out um, of the Commonwealth and to becoming a republic and put it to a referendum in the near future. I do not know. I don't keep up with Australia. I don't keep up with Britain. Ruby lives in Australia most of the time. So, um, with that being said, where we end up with immigration is, I don't think we're getting any stricter. I think we need to, uh, you know, observe the rules and enforce the rules that are already there. Um, in America, they have what's called an H-1B visa. An H-1B visa gets issued to physicians, engineers, scientists, professionals that another company wants to employ. They want to bring this, boy genius from India over on a H-1B visa. And it's good for, I think, 2 years and can be renewed as long as that company says, I need him. And it can lead to applying for citizenship because it's almost if you spend enough time in the U.S. But to pick potatoes, I don't know. You would be and Ruby would be a much better resource in the fact that we don't have free health care in the U.S., whereas you have significantly reduced and some free health care in Australia. The British National Health Plan is in shambles. I know multiple British doctors and they absolutely detest it. But in Australia, they have a good healthcare system. How they pay for it, I'm not sure.
Yeah, in Australia, a deduction is taken from every person for out of their salary. It's set at a certain percentage, and it's given to the health system. But it is user pays. You go to your local doctor, and most of the doctors can get a subsidised access for a visit. But you must have a special card issued by Centrelink to do so. But most of the doctors are on that program. So generally speaking, it does cost you more than $30, like it does in New Zealand too. It's not free. It's certainly reduced in access and volume, but like anywhere in the world, health is a big issue, and you can wait 2 or 3 months before you get to see a doctor. This is why people with a cut finger often rock up to A&E expecting treatment, and that's what stuffs up the system, really.
Michael Atos says in the comments, he makes a really valid point about what I said. Fast food workers found out the hard way. They wanted $15 an hour. Fast food prices went through the roof. Now you go into McDonald's, there's a kiosk, there's not 4 people at the counter in these fast food places anymore. There's 1 person at the counter and 4 electronic boards, and you have to fill out what you want. Invention. You know what? If we can't replace them with people, we replace it with modern technology. And that is going to happen worldwide.
Well, it's like the supermarkets in Australia, Coles and Woolies. They have self-service. You literally go up and beat them. There's always somebody standing there to assist you, but generally speaking, they're becoming more and more popular to use because they're just simply faster than somebody sitting there packing the bags for you. Anyway,
go ahead.
My Coca-Cola is getting cold, so I better go and let you carry on with your program. Thanks anyway.
Thank you so much for dropping by. So let's catch up with some comments here. Think about going to Cebu in January. Is the snorkeling good? I don't know. It depends on where you're at. How does one find your schedule of live streams? We are going to live stream Monday mornings in the Philippines, Sunday night in the U.S., 9 a.m. Philippine times, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. We'll also be putting stuff in the community tab. Hopefully you'll get alerted. Now, earlier it was stated that if you are a subscriber and you hit that subscribe button twice, you'll get an option to be notified of all notifications. Give that a try as well. Michael says, just talked to a friend living in the Philippines tonight. They're making final arrangements for another expat, stage 4 cancer. They are swimming through the Philippine rules for death issues. Sorry to hear that, Michael. Ruby, Australia's been planning to be a republic and will probably be put to referendum in the near future. Yeah, that's what Ruby was talking about. Thank you, Ruby. Big Dave, doing well, Doc. Thanks for the asking. Still here. Got me a great fully furnished spot, as Ace would say, secret location. Be posting content very soon, probably this weekend. Good deal, Dave. I'm glad to see that. Let's see here. Plenty of immigrants in Australia, and Zax goes back to the military. Okay. I'm not sure what Anzacs is, but okay. People saying hello to each other. Ruby saying Australia embraces multiculturalism. AC Motor, very big community of Southeast Asians, Indian, and African, amongst others. Oh, okay, Dave. Dave, Brewmeister, nice to see you, Brew. Thanks for dropping in. Mike Maslan, thank you so much. So, AC Motors, we weren't strict on boat arrivals. Many thousands were granted permanent residency and given everything: Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Saudi, Kurdish, many more. Yeah. We did not enforce our own laws. We felt bad for them. Fast food workers found out the hard way. Exactly, Michael. I just used that as an example. Thank you. Greetings from Guam, an island paradise, U.S. territory, happily returned. And Guam is beautiful. Stefan, beautiful. Thank you for dropping in. Moon River. Good morning, Moon. I tell you, Moon River's in the one of the only Discord that I'm in. Moon River is also in that Discord. And I will tell you right now, I have a lot of respect. Single mom, doing the best she can and doing a great job. You gotta give big kudos to her. Guam is no paradise. I don't know, CB, GB. I've been through Guam. I've never lived in Guam, been through there. QA needs skilled labor, plumbers, electrical workers, people who work meat packing plants, just not high-end workers for Musk and his billionaire buddies. Just make it, you know what? We're going to have, in 5 years, we will have, you'll never be able to, I don't think you'll ever be able to actually replace the craftsmanship of skilled labor. But can you get the job done by automation? I believe you can. Guam is a toilet. Wow, CB. The parts of Guam that I saw, I was only there for half a day, but the parts of Guam that I saw were pretty. I had no idea. Medicare is free. Sorry to disagree. Just went to a hospital for weeks, didn't pay some. No, but you paid for Medicare. All right. You paid for Medicare. And the only way you have Medicare, I don't understand. You don't look old enough for Medicare. Are you talking about Medicaid? Because you don't look old enough for Medicare. My God, if you're 65, you are a young looking 65, my man. I've met AC Moto. And we pay for Medicare. We certainly did. When I was a kid, I had a self-service girlfriend, my hand. Oh, shame on you, Michael. Shame on. I would hate to have been around when she got pissed off at you. Self-checkout in the U.S. is going away due to theft. You know what? I always wondered, James. We had self-service checkout at Walmart, Safeway, Albertsons, and a couple of others. And Lowe's, Home Depot, I always wondered how much theft actually takes because it seemed like it'd be easy to steal. We used it all the time. We never stole. We always checked out everything we had. We never stole. GB, learn the difference between Medicare and Medicaid. Can't be much. I walk in, walk out, didn't pay. You mean tax? I mean, if you have Social Security, they will deduct the monthly premium from your pension. If you have Social Security, they will deduct the monthly premium from your pension. Yeah. CBGB in Australia, we refer to our government free health care as the Medicare, different from the US. Okay. CBGB, I don't get Social Security. If you don't get, I don't think you're talking about Medicare. Medicare, I mean, there'd be Social Security, disability. There'd be Social Security. There'd be Medicaid. If you're from a 301 state where Medicaid is implemented by the state, like for in Arizona, they call Medicaid, it's called Access, Arizona Health Cost Containment System, AHCCS. All right. It's actually Medicaid, funded by Medicaid and administered by the state, but very different. CB. The ugly tourist made it to Trinoma eating Taco Bell. You're making me jealous. Better stop that shit. I'm telling you, I had a lot of Taco Bell. Not a lot. We ate Taco Bell twice while we were in Thailand recently. The crispy, spicy chicken taco. You got to try that. I think it's probably still on special. Um, ask Ding if she likes it. Guam loves its Kmart. Never been there. The ugly tourist. Yeah, thanks. I really wanted to know that. Exactly. You know, it's funny how we miss some of the bullshit stuff. Things that we so like the giant fried taco from Taco Bell. Terribly unhealthy, but damn, it was good. I mean, at 3 o'clock in the morning, coming back from being on call or at a club or wherever, that was some good eating. And Filberto's, the, you know, bacon, ham, and cheese burrito at 2 o'clock in the morning. And you miss some of the little things. You know, I don't miss Morton's. I don't miss the Chop House. I don't miss the Cliff House restaurant in San Francisco. I don't miss, you know, these $200, $300 a plate meals. I don't miss those at all, but I do miss some of the simple stuff. Shake Shack, all right? Smash Burger. Ruby, even people who haven't paid or contributed in tax still entitled to free health care. They are in the U.S. as well. In fact, the poorer you are in the U.S., the more you qualify for. That's called Medicaid, Ruby, and you qualify at any age. Moon River and her son absolutely love my karaoke. I don't know, Dave. I've heard your karaoke. I wouldn't call it. It's not much worse than Arlen's, but it's not far. AC Moto, you don't draw a Social Security pension yet. At Akamoto, AC Moto, got to keep up to date. Oh, now you see, this is what's going to piss me off. Ugly Tourist is going to do a video about Taco Bell in Trinoma, and then he's going to post it. And then I'm going to watch it. And then I'm going to tell Arlen, you know, don't we have some shopping we need to do? Don't we have a couple places we need to go over in Manila? Shouldn't we plan another weekend out? Thanks so much, Ugly Tourist. I appreciate that. Hi, Mike. A couple chats ago, you mentioned that AI would wipe out call centers. What do you think will be the economic fallout for the Phils? I think there'll be 100,000 jobs gone, minimum. Um, AI, it's inevitable. It's already doing it. It's already impacting it. How will it go on? I told you I had um, a lunch yesterday with a buddy of mine. He's from Australia. He was the CEO of a um, healthcare concern in New Zealand, series of clinics, and they had offices in Australia as well. He sold it, and he's dabbled in a BPO of some sort that utilizes AI and Philippines um, workers, and his clients are mostly in the U.S. and Singapore. And he's told me, he said, within 3 to 5 years, if he continues to do this and continues to make money at it, it'll be 95% AI, and he will hire Americans for that other 5%, that it'll be worth it. So AC Moto says, no, I don't. Arstel, how are you? How's things going? Arstel says, I lived in Guam for 2 years as a Navy dependent. My father was stationed on the USS Proteus, which was home ported there. I haven't been back except for stopovers flying to Manila since 2004. Arstel lives right here in the area. Ran into him. Well, then, if you go to the ER, you're home free. That is true. Well, if you go to the ER, it's called EMTALA. They have to stabilize you. They don't necessarily have to. So if you have cancer, you're not going to get. Arlen just sent me a message. Google says there's a Shake Shack in Mandalong. Yes, Arlen, I know. There's a Shake Shack in Mandalong. There's a couple Popeyes fried chicken, I think, in Quezon City. There's Taco Bell in Trinoma area. But anyways, yes. So any hospital in the U.S. that has an emergency room, okay, it has to get what's called EMTALA, EMTALA. You can look it up. All right. It has to stabilize anybody that walks through the door, whether they can pay for it or not. Now, does that make you home free? No, it doesn't. What it means is they'll bill you. Now, the hospital will do everything it can. Every hospital that I've ever been on staff has a department whose sole job is to get you qualified for Medicaid. And that's how it'll get paid. So we have a lot of Filipinos that consider Guam as their home. Social Security Office, VA, U.S. military bases are here. We have 3 hospitals, several clinics. Yes, you have, and you have hospitals, yes, that accept Medicare and VA. Indeed, you do. Indeed. I mean, Guam has some big advantages. Self-service, 30,000 for the setup to date to the computer system is costing big bucks. Loss prevention is a huge problem, as well as they're going away fast. They'll only go away until they invent a better way, until they invent a way to do it cheaper or with less loss. But yes, I agree. I receive my Social Security here in the Philippines. I don't pay Medicare. Well, you don't pay Medicare once you receive Social Security. Are you talking about Social Security disability, James? Are you talking about Social Security retirement or Social Security disability? GB, the ER not turn away people if you are critical. Exactly. They must stabilize you. That's the law. That's the absolute law. Medicaid is for low income and also minor children. Yes, that's what Medicaid is all about. You have SNAP, you have milk, you have all kinds of programs. Medicaid is for the poor. It absolutely is. Dave says, at my current age, Taco Bell is taco hell. No bueno. Oh, come on, Dave. How about just a plain old beef, bean, and cheese burrito? Barry in the PI. I have VA healthcare, so I don't use Medicare. There you go. There you go. Alex. How are you, Alex? Good morning. How's things going in Thailand? Man, I got to try and catch up with the comments here. VA healthcare in the Philippines is service connected conditions only. Yes. Yes. So, in other words, unless you already have VA disability and it is service related, only here in the Philippines will they talk to you about it has to be service connected VA. So, if you get pneumonia, you may not get it. As of October 20, only one small format Kmart remains in the continental U.S., a Miami location, where there are also Kmart stores in the U.S., Virgin Islands, and Guam. Yeah, and they're probably franchises that are owned by someone other than corporate Kmart. I don't know. It would be interested to find out. In Wisconsin, the place I miss is the supper clubs. They're hard to come by. They really are. GD, haven't seen GD in a while. How you doing? Yo, thanks for dropping in. I need health care after this Taco Bell. See how I used your topic to tie everything together. There you go. Ugly tourist. So what did you get? What did you order at Taco Bell? If you're going to make us jealous, then, let's expand on that. Philippines definitely needs a Shake Shack. There's a Shake Shack in Mandaluyong, all right outside of Makati. But that's the only one I know of. Arlene just reminded me of it. Guam Memorial is like a roach motel. You can check in, but you can't check out. I don't know. I know nothing about the hospitals per se in Guam. I haven't been to one, never been inside one, don't know anybody that's worked at one, but it's possible. Left Guam in 2012, was pretty bad back then. Oh, there you go. Alex has been there, and that's been a while. Laughing my ass off. I love Popeyes. No Taco Bell for me, though. I love Popeyes. Now, what I'd be interested in is, can you get the biscuit at the Popeyes in Quezon City? Because, I can't get at McDonald's, none of the McDonald's here that I've ever seen, and I've been in a good dozen of them here in the Philippines over the years, do they offer a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. It's always the McMuffin. Always, and I want the biscuit. Arstel in Vegas. I will not work for call centers. I dealt with it from IRS and was a pain in the ass. I call the female computer voice a bad name, hung up on me, and understood naughty words. It does. That's pretty bad when the AI is woke. Man, I should do a call like that and record it. Uh-oh. Arlen, there's a Shake Shack at Greenbelt also, and in BGC. Wow. Might have to give that a try in the next week or two. Donald Trump and his sidekicks trying to get rid of Medicaid and Social Security. I don't know why. Joe, that's bullshit. They are not trying to get rid of Medicaid and Social Security. Not going to happen. Not there. That is just absolutely insane. Let's try and stick to truth. Okay? That's something that we pride ourselves on. All right? And that's just it. Now, are they trying to get rid of Medicaid fraud, Social Security fraud, and waste? And when I say waste, I mean like checks being issued to people that are 150 years old. Yeah, but get rid of them. Choose your words wisely, Joe. That's first and only warning. We don't deal with that kind of bullshit. Working and watching simultaneously. Thanks for the shout out. Richie Rich. Anytime. I like his channel. I don't comment, but I watch him. No, the mall in Taguig, but I've been to the Grand Canal shops in Vegas as I lived there prior to retiring here. Yeah, been to the shops in Vegas, the Grand Canal as well. Dickie Taco Hell is just like taking a laxative. I don't know. Never had that impact on me. Okay. No, I'm 65. They don't take it out of my check because I can't use it. So I'm 65. They don't take it out of my check. I don't know. Are you on Social Security disability, James? Is there some connection that the two of them deal with? I don't know. Off to the embassy. Thanks, OPJ. Oh, you're going to the embassy. Wow. I wish you the best of luck. I really do. I hope you had an appointment. And I hope you get everything taken care of that you need. Time to start my day. Take care, Alex. Thank you for dropping in. Taco Bell hurts my hemorrhoids. Sorry, Michael. Beef and bean burrito, like you said. There you go. Oh, man. Yes, James, one can opt out of Medicare anytime. Yeah, you can mock. I don't know why you would opt out of it, but yeah, I guess you could. I think In-N-Out burgers. In-N-Out burgers are great. They're great. Love them. Double with a chocolate shake. Oh, and the shake is like dessert that we'd split between myself, and my daughter. I had Beyond Meat burger at Whole Foods. It nearly killed me. I have not tried one yet. Soybean, I don't think, has advanced far enough for me to do that. CBG, I made 145-year-old and still receiving Social Security. Yeah. I'm just telling you what the damn news says is saying. It ain't no BS for me. I don't know what the truth is anymore. Joe, I don't want to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude. Okay. But it would be political suicide. And I think a near death experience would happen quickly if someone tried to do away with Social Security and Medicare. Seniors just, we paid for that. We paid. I paid money all my life into Social Security. I paid money all my life into Medicare. They can't take that away. That's just now. Are they going after the waste? Are they going after fraud? Yeah. Don't ever give me a warning. I've never told a lie. I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying be careful. Nope, just retired. Wow. So you can get treatment for acute conditions discretionary to your primary care physician at the VA clinic. I've done it a few times when I had consultation visit there. I'm retired, so TRICARE primary. There you are. Mainstream media is fear-mongering the feeble-minded. Maita makes biscuits for me and gravy too. Oh, man, nobody in my family can make a biscuit, a decent biscuit. We have tried. Our biscuits come out like hockey pucks. I think James opted out because it's not useful opt out of Medicaid for sure. But I mean, you got to opt into Medicaid. So I mean, but I wouldn't get Medicaid in the Philippines. It's for sure not useful. I don't live in the United States. Don't need Medicare. I don't know. I would disagree, James. I mean, Well, you know what? We all have our views on whether it's worth is the juice worth the squeeze? That's the bottom line. Joe, no one knows what is true or fake. Don't get upset. I lived in San Diego for a number of years. Mexico's right next door. After eating tacos and authentic Mexican food there, why the hell would I individually eat a taco hell? Well, because you're not next door to Mexico anymore, Dave. You can't get that. It's as close as you get. And there's something to be said about when you're used to it. You know, when you've eaten Taco Bell once a week for 40 years, you kind of crave it once in a while. Someone's been listening to too much MSNBC or The View. It is what it is. It's an opinion I disagree with, that's for sure. About time for the snowbirds to head back home, starting to heat up in Phoenix. Oh, I bet it is, Dickie. It's going to start getting warm. So here, Medicaid is automatically detected at age 6 from Social Security payments. Medicaid is automatically deducted, I think is what he's saying, from Social Security payments. Yes. I'm returning to Japan and will be de-opping Medicare because Japan has to, you know what? The guy that I told you that went to lunch with yesterday, right? He, his wife, and his 2 kids were at Disney in Japan about 4 months ago. His son tripped and cut his head. He got a Tokyo General, neurological consult, neurosurgical consult, plastic surgeon, did a great job, internal and external stitches, the whole 9 yards, in and out of the hospital in 6 hours, $85, 85 US dollars. Dickie, Medicare, not Medicaid, and only deducted if you signed up for it. Right, Dickie. San Diego's my hometown. I just go to Taco Bell often. Miss the enchiritos. That's funny. I hate autocorrect on my phone. Don't we all? Don't we all? The weak Canadian dollar, I'm surprised anyone came down at all. You know, that had a big impact, Barry. In North Phoenix and Anthem, we had a lot of Canadians that when the dollar fell, the Canadian dollar fell, they put their homes in Anthem up for sale. Dickie, same here, Michael. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to post this again. So if you'd like to come on board, if you'd like to cam up, if you'd like to discuss it, if you have opinions, if you have ideas, if you have topics, cam on up. You know, I mean, I'm happy to, we are a non-biased channel. We're open to everybody as long as you're reasonably respectful. Oh, I don't think anybody was thinking you were lying, just maybe, misinformed or maybe mistaken. Dickie says, if you decline Medicare, then you pick it up later. It's a nice penalty. I know if you try and pick up Medicare Part B, it's 10% per year penalty. I don't know what standard Medicare is. I think the Canadian dollar is 66 cents to the US dollar. Wow. At one time, what's the highest? Does anybody remember when and what the highest reimbursement on the Canadian dollar to the US dollar was, just out of curiosity? Somebody could probably Google that. I don't know. We're running 2 hours and 14 minutes. We've had a great live stream, a lot of interaction. We really appreciate it. Um, if you're watching this in replay, give it about 6 hours and then watch it, and you'll see the live chat is there. So it's a long video, and because of that, it takes YouTube can take hours to post the actual live chat that goes with it, but it will. We always check that box for the live chat replay as well. If Medicare is Medicare a automatic when you turn 65, AR over year 8 plus 8, yes. If you're already receiving Social Security or railroad retirement benefits, you'll automatically be enrolled. Exactly. No. A and B. No. No. I am not in Medicare Part B. I did not opt into Medicare Part B. It did not offer to enroll me automatically in Medicare Part B. I don't believe that that's phrased correctly. Now, regular Medicare, yes, it's but I was getting Social Security and then Medicare, and no, it did not enroll me automatically in Part B. Barry Graham, try holding Australian dollars right now, 35 to the dollar, I think. Nearly cried at the money changer the other day. I don't know what is today. Let me check and see. 57.33. Wow. Dropping like a rock. No, I got it, Arlen. I got it. There you go, Joe. Guess I ain't mad no more. Just felt like somebody was thinking I was lying. Not lying, Joe. We think people get misinformed. We think people get, there's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of embellished information out there. Not at all. Never thought you were lying at all. I see Barry Graham trying to hold all. Yeah. Wow. So Barry said, I think 97 cents Canada to the dollar. Wow. That's a pretty big hit. That's probably over many years though. 0.63. Okay. All right, everybody. It's been 2 hours and 17 minutes. We've enjoyed it. We thank you. If you've been watching this, please do consider subscribing, hit that thumbs up, and maybe we can talk Arlen into being in another video. And after she's done a couple of videos, maybe one day we can talk her into being in the live. We'll see. Otherwise, we want to thank you so much. Have a great day and be safe.